Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Chat Inbetween podcast. This week is a good week because we have a good friend of the church, a member of the church called Nik with us tonight. Hi, Nik. How you doing?
Hi, Matt. Yeah, not too bad. How are you doing?
Yeah. Coping, surviving.
I know.
Good to see. Kids are going back to school in the next 2 weeks, over the next 2 weeks. That's going to be a big change for me.
Brilliant. Oh,
yeah.
Good.
I think since Christmas, I think most homeschooling parents, the winter homeschool was so much more difficult. Just being winter and being cold and nowhere to go and just being locked in.
Yeah.
So we're happy it's coming to an end.
Absolutely. I've been lucky in that respect because obviously I've been working quite a lot. I never had
you've worked all the way through, haven't you?
Yeah, all the way through. Like there was no stop for us. In a way, it was good, but yeah. Hopefully this will end up soon, and then we'll have a.
So just for the podcast, what do you do, Nik?
Oh, so I'm a manager of a care home. I work in a small residential care home just off on Wells Road. So I've got 27 residents in the home currently, but obviously sadly we lost some of them due to COVID-19.
Yeah.
So we're recovering slowly but surely from that. But yeah, that's my role. I work for a care home.
Because lockdown one for you, I mean, all the way through to sort of November, December, wasn't it? You had a great time, not a great time of it, but you really didn't have much COVID in your home, did you?
No, it was all the way since all this start, right up until February the 2nd was when we started having the first case, and that was one of our staff, sadly. That's when it started hitting in the home.
Yeah.
So we lost a lot of residents, like I said, sadly. But we also out of all the staff, we literally had only 5 staff who didn't have the virus.
Oh, right.
Everybody else had the virus as well. So when it started hitting, like, every day was like positive.
Yeah, and you were very unwell with it, weren't you, yourself?
I was. Yeah, so that was back in November, the 14th. Obviously, I lost my dad with the virus, and I came back from Macedonia, and then on the 14th day, I just felt unwell. It was like out of nowhere. I took COVID-19 test when I came back from Macedonia, and on the 14th day, which is Saturday, I was sat on my sofa here watching television, and it started from top of my head and went down my body just like that. So yes, I was really ill with it. I was in BRI, but thanks NHS, they saved my life. So thanks to them, they've been great. They've been fantastic in BRI. I can't say no bad word about them. It was just absolutely fantastic. I brought back. I perked up. I've recovered. I've gone back into work, and it was all good. It was all going well in work, and then out of nowhere, we just had bang. Everybody.
They're so vulnerable because obviously my dad died in April from COVID.
Yeah.
And his care home was in that lockdown one, and they had a terrible time of it, and my dad was part of that. But they're so vulnerable, aren't they, to this incredibly strong virus?
They are. Sadly, it did hit us, but we are on a recovery way now, if that makes sense. It's sad. We lost some really good residents. But at the end of the day, we just have to keep fighting. And then, it is a hard work at the moment, not because obviously we lost the residents, but also you're dealing with emotional needs, the residents, the staff, everybody's.
It's a cold
but they've been so good. The staff has been amazing.
Mate, honestly, I can honestly say with the experience we had with my dad, absolute legends. Care home staff, they don't get paid a lot. They don't get paid enough. And, one of the care home staff held my dad's hand as he passed away for 3 hours. She was in the room. She cared for him. And, what a hero. And I think up and down the country, we have these men and women who work for you and yourself who are not celebrated. Nobody stood on the doorstep and clapped care home staff, But honestly, there are some people who have gone over and beyond the call of duty, especially for such small average wages. They're dealing with so much. It's unbelievable.
it was a scary moment, like when you're going to when I was called in one night. Obviously, I can't describe to what was going on,
Yeah.
but one of the nights was the hardest one in my life.
Yeah.
In my career, I never had a night like that or day like that because
Yeah.
all happened within the space of 36 hours. It
Yeah.
was the most difficult time of my career where I worked in health and social care literally, well, since I knew about myself. That's my profession. But yeah, those 36 hours, it hit not only myself but everyone.
Yeah.
We were like down to breaking point. But you know what? It's okay. You're just gonna have to say to yourself, we're okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Well, you've made a very special list, Nick. In my career as a pastor, I've probably got, well, it used to be four moments that were incredibly difficult to deal with and to do. One was the death of a close friend who was a lecturer. One was one of my old members of my church who sadly had a stroke and was very poorly. Had to go and visit him. It was just awful. And so on and so on. But you're now number 5 on that list. When you phoned me that morning, wow, you were so low. You were so low. And I could hear it in your voice. You were so upset and so full of sadness and sorrow about those 36 hours. And I came away from that phone call and my heart was broken for you, mate, honestly. It was just like, oh no, poor Nick, he's such a legend. But I said this at the time, and we did say before this podcast that we didn't want to make Nick cry, but I did say at the start, I said at that time, I'd have been absolutely wonderfully happy if Nick was looking after my dad before he passed. I thought that was the best compliment I could say, because knowing you and knowing how much you love people and care for people, it was such a hard thing, wasn't it, for you to go through.
Thank you.
I'm going to do something not very professional now. I've got to plug my laptop in, but keep talking.
That's okay. It was like you said, the relatives were grateful for what we done as a team. I'm not saying, I've done this, I've done that.
No.
It was the whole team who worked. I'll wait for you.
I'm coming, Nick.
It's okay.
I've got to go under the deck. Go on, sorry, keep on going.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I was just saying, it's it was everyone, whole team, who worked really goddamn hard, and they did. I'm really proud with everyone. So,
oh, mate, and you should be. So you should be. Anyway, I'm glad we could talk about that.
It's been difficult times. It has been very difficult.
Yes, but that's part of this podcast, because everybody I've interviewed, from Becky to Chloe to Ebby, we've all got our stories during this year, haven't we?
Sure, we sure do, yes.
And I think what's really important post-COVID is that we give each other spaces to listen to our stories, because we've just been surviving for most of it.
Exactly. And, it's not all, that it just made you realize a lot of things.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy whatsoever. I mean, like I said, since my dad's passing, I've lost 7 of my loved ones, 7 relatives of mine due to COVID. One of them, and they're all young people, obviously I haven't put all on Facebook to what's going on, but it's not, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's something that sadly you have to say to, it's okay. Because you just don't have another option but to say it's going to be okay. It's got to be okay.
Yeah.
And that's it. And, and
that's not minimizing the impact of anybody's death. It's not minimizing the impact of anything. But as human spirit of survival and nature means, I think we've got to say it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this.
Absolutely. And like I always say, we don't have a choice but going forward. Yeah. We don't have much of a choice. Like there's nothing we can do. It's not just us. It's not just my family who's going through it. It's not just my mom who's suffering every day. It's everyone. There's been thousands of people who passed away due to COVID-19.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a moment in my life or a period in my life for a couple of months where I was scared to open social media. I was scared to check Facebook.
Yeah.
I was scared to check. I was scared to check Instagram. My phone, because I was like, "What is going to be next? Like, what's going to happen next? What am I going to read?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think you're the person particularly who I know who's been impacted by COVID the most in your family life, in your friendships, and in obviously your work life. And what's been wonderful all the way through it, Nick, is that wonderful big fat streak. It's like a lightning streak through you of optimism. And it really has sorted you well, hasn't it, over these months? Yeah.
I've been really blessed. I've been blessed in a respect of my church family. I'm talking about our church family here and in Macedonia. Obviously, there's been a great support. There has been a great um, attitude towards me from people. Like I was
That's
bombarded with
nice.
messages. Um, there's people from my church who are from our church who uh, were literally texting me every single day. And and that is what means a lot to me.
Yeah, yeah.
The caringness from my church family,
Yeah.
from friends who I know, and that is proof once more that they are your close family. That is the opportunity to say thank you to everyone.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess in a way, just say massive thank you to everyone who's been there when all this was going on. Because I am a private person. I don't really
No,
intend to go around and say, oh yeah, just to let you know this happened to my life. You know what I mean?
no.
It's very rarely where I would share something. I like to help people, but I did used to find it really hard for me to express how I feel to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes, like you said when I called you, and when I post something in a WhatsApp group, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to share that you don't feel okay, and I feel okay about it. I feel happy that I've shared that. It's
No.
easier, man. It's so much easier that
Yeah.
you've shared it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you'll be amazed what people can do about you. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm trying to learn this more and more. I mean, I'm just 50 years old just recently, and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to make myself share and share my weaknesses and share my pain. I think in the past I've been a bit too independent. I'm trying to protect people as part of my job, maybe. But actually, I think in the long run, it doesn't do you well to hold it all in.
no,
It
I
makes you
agree.
sick. I actually think it makes you sick. And only the last 12 months or something, I've been really trying just to say, this isn't easy. This is one thing I've learned in lockdown too, Nick. This isn't easy for me. I'm in a pandemic. I'm no different than anybody else. So
Yeah.
I need help. And, I'm struggling in my own ways and you're struggling your ways. But in the
You're doing
past, I
great,
think I
man.
would have held it in more. I think I would
Yeah,
have.
you are doing great. I mean, we are struggling, but you've been out there, like you've been out there and helping people, and that's what is matter.
That, and to be fair, that also helped. That's
Yeah.
part of the healing process. So a long, long time ago, I used to work in Manchester, working with the homeless. And I think that was probably the closest I've been to feeling whole as a person, body, soul, and spirit.
Yeah.
We used to worship on the street corner with my church family. That was Barnabas Church family. And then we used to go out and feed the poor and look after prostitutes and whatever and tell them about Jesus sometimes, but often not. Take them to the doctors on the bus and blah, 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 blah. But I never felt so complete as a person.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that through lockdown, visiting you, helping you, or visiting Sandra Ray, whoever it is that whatever I've been doing, that service in the storm is actually healing.
Yeah. I agree. It
Yeah.
is a way of healing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that actually was quite a good. I'm going to keep that service in the storm. If anybody's a singer-songwriter out there, Hillsong, if you're watching.
Let me guess it does.
Anyway, Nick, thank you. Before we started, we did say we were just going to be careful about how we spoke about it, but I really do appreciate your openness because you have had a tough time with it. So let's start with the questions. And let's learn a little bit more about Nick and a little bit of chat in between. So the first question is: have you got any phobias, Nick? Have you got any phobias?
But you know what? I was looking at the questions, and I don't really think I do. To be quite fair with you,
Good.
no, I was thinking like, what could be phobia for me? Like what? I'm not scared of snakes. I'm not scared of rats. I'm not scared of mice. No, I don't.
Good.
I was literally really trying to hard.
The classic phobias: heights. Are you good with heights?
I've done jump of airplane. I've done.
Have you?
I've done yeah, that was in Las Vegas a few years back. I've done all that. I love it.
No,
I
you've
love
done
adrenaline.
that. Was that?
Huh?
Am I? Did I know you when you jumped out of an aeroplane?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Right,
Why
man.
don't you go on Facebook and check my photos? I've got photos where I've jumped.
Oh, I do not doubt you, my friend. That's something crazy that you would definitely.
I love Nick loves airplanes, choppers. Nick loves all that, and then everything what's up in the sky, I love it.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna sound really weird, but every time when there's a plane flying over, I'm just like, oh yeah, I just love it.
Like somebody out of the Amazon jungle, like a plane. Look at my
yeah, save me. But it's I love it. When I go at there has been several times where I just go up at Bristol Airport, and when flights operate, just take a planes taking off and landing, because my biggest wish in my life was to be a pilot. That was my biggest wish in my life.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, come on, imagine the passenger with me. I'll probably be more talking to them. I was going to fly them. So
yeah,
anyway,
you're not meant to somersault 747s.
I know. So yeah, my biggest. my biggest wish was to be a pilot. And,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
did you see that the David Blaine thing on YouTube when he went up with the balloons?
I didn't. Everybody talked about it. I didn't see it. No.
That was incredible, yeah. And then he got up to 26,000 feet, and then he just unlatched and then skydived back.
That'd be amazing, man. Oh, I've done that in Las Vegas.
No, I've never jumped out of a plane. I haven't done it. I would do it. I just haven't done it. I don't know why I've not done it, but I would do it. But yeah, maybe we could do that 2021.
Of course we can. I've done it in Las Vegas. It wasn't expensive. It was like $250, something like that.
But what was the best thing about that? For you? What was the best thing about jumping out of the plane?
Fighting a fear in yourself.
We feet dangled over the edge, and then
yeah, and then we sat at the edge of the plane. They opened the door, and then I was gonna say, "Hang on, I don't want to jump." It was too late. I was already done. I was like, "Oh my god,
I don't want to jump.
I don't want to," but it was too late. It was too late. You were already done, and no, it was a fight and a fear. Like, yeah, I'm not afraid of anything. I think I'm not afraid of anything. But it was something that you were like, oh my god, what if it doesn't open? What if
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's always a risk.
There's always a risk, but then you were like, but then I was like, there's more people down below us, so we'll be all right. They'll catch us if we. So it was okay. It was, but fighting a fear.
You know what? Because I did a parachute one once. When you go behind a boat. The parachute, like the speedboat, and you're on a parachute.
Yeah.
So when you take off, it was exhilarating. And then about 10 minutes into it, I thought, oh, this is a bit boring.
Yeah, that was a free fall, which was about 5-6 minutes. You were down.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many feet in the air we were, but
so it was quite a quick experience.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well done. Have you ever bungee jumped then?
I haven't. That's my next step. That's what I want to do. I haven't done bungee jump yet, but that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that looks incredible. That would get your heart going, wouldn't it? Like,
if you jump from an airplane, you can do that as well.
Easy now.
Yeah, you got experience.
But that's good. I mean, the phobia thing. Well, I mean, I'm interested in this. Is why. I mean, I know people can have bad experiences, but at the heart of having a phobia, why don't you think you've got a phobia? What is it about Nick?
I think, Matt. I think it's the experience in life, what you've been through. Like, I grew up in a village where, It was a farmer's village, and you will see anything in the village, like from snake to mice. You'll see everything in there. Do you know what I mean? And then you like
Normalize it.
yeah, like dogs. I lived in a I lived in a village where I was surrounded by animals all the time. Um, I guess I was brought in my life not to be scared of anything.
Yeah, yeah.
In a way, because at 2 o'clock when I was in Macedonia, 2 o'clock in the morning, like it was getting really hot in the summer. When it's dark, you just go out and water the plants because it's going to get really hot first thing in the morning, and there's no way you can survive under the plastic tunnels.
Yeah.
So you can't be scared of the dark because you've done the dark. You've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's also a greater need in the dark. The greater need is survival to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, minimizes the danger of the dark, doesn't it? Because you've got to be more than the dark for your own health.
Yeah, exactly. So I just guess it was the experience, because when somebody says to you, "Oh, I'm scared of mice," well, I'm not, because I've seen loads. I'm scared of snakes. Well, I'm not, because I've seen loads of snakes, and I've held a snake in my big snakes in my hands. Yeah. I'm scared of spiders. Well, I'm not, because I see them all the time.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
You know what I mean? Or reptiles, and I'm not worried. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was trying to think really hard on that question when I read it. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? Nah, nothing.
Yeah. No, it's so interesting to me. Phobias are interesting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it on the podcast before, I think, but my phobia is jewelry. I don't like holding jewelry.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind like 1 kilogram of gold in my hands, if you don't mind.
I'd do it if it was like a brick of gold, but if it was a massive necklace, I said it on the last podcast, I'd be a rubbish pirate.
Yeah, I bet you will.
It's like my chest of gold. Somebody else pick it up.
Yeah, no, I don't have phobia.
Yeah. I know, I've always had that, and the kids know I've got this phobia. So occasionally, Gabe will walk past me and put his necklace on me or something.
Like, just to annoy you. You've got such a happy life, aren't you?
Oh man, yeah, terrorized in my own home. Well, Nick, you haven't got a phobia. That is good news. I'm glad about that. So, Nick, if you went to your record player or went to your Sony Walkman or your Spotify, what is Nick's song?
Oh, come on, that's easy. It's Shout to the Lord.
Shout to, let me get it on. I've just got to just do some tomfoolery this end.
Hey, shout to the Lord. That is my song when I heard it first time in Macedonia. It was in church, and that's when I actually became a Christian on that song.
Sorry, say that again. In Macedonia.
In Macedonia, when I heard that song, there was a group from America, and then they introduced that song to us for the very first time.
Really?
Although I was going to church, I thought I was a Christian, but until I heard that song, that's when I realized I was actually.
And have you got a favorite version?
Nothing compares to the promise I have in you.
What's this one? Let's go. Hear that? That's a bit. What is it about the lyrics that you like the most? What is it? On that night, was it a night? I presume it was.
It was a daytime.
Oh.
It was a day, and then when we heard, and I stayed in the church for a very long time.
All of my days, I want to pray.
It was
the wonders of your.
It was the whole song. It was kind of putting my life on the table.
Yeah.
Like the words, what they were saying, and all. It was just like it was putting my life on the table about everything. What the song was said, it was about me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
a spotlight was on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it was like, shout to the Lord. It was just like,
you worship you.
Yeah.
Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing.
I just think it's interesting to try and explain that to people, that moment. I had a sort of a spotlight moment when I became a Christian, when the person on the stage who was speaking, it was literally everything they said was so pertinent to me, my life, everything. And it was like, I couldn't not say yes to God in that moment.
It's your moment. Like it's like you're going through, shall I say, dare I say, you're going through a that fire in your life. A moment where you're like, whoa, you feel so warm, you feel so hot, and then it's the feeling, it's unexplainable feeling. It's a good unexplainable feeling, and then you're like, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian now. I've done it.
Yeah.
And then it was a moment. Like I stayed, like I said, for a very long period in the church. It's a long story. And and I've started seeing things differently after.
Yeah.
Although I wasn't worried what kind of shoes I was going to wear to school the following day. I didn't give a two bonkers about it. Whereas before that, I did. The small little things changed you.
Yeah.
And it was a very good feeling. It's a long story, which obviously we can talk about this some another time. How my life after when I became a Christian.
Yeah.
But what I also noticed is, Matt, when I became a Christian, there was a lot of questions, like where I don't agree with things what was going on around the world, and you see the things differently than before. I don't know how to explain that feeling. I don't know whether you had that as well.
Oh no, I had that experience too. It was like I became a Christian in 1994. I was into the club scene in Manchester, loads of clubs, love dance music, and heavy drinker, heavy smoker, and whatever goes with that world. I became a Christian, and the next time that I went clubbing, oh my life, it was I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't give myself to it. I saw it was like my eyes had gone like 20 feet big.
Yeah.
See the whole world, and I didn't fit into it as well as I used to.
Absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I can tell you, I can. Before even became a Christian, I can say the numbers on my hand how many times I've been to clubbing. I don't like clubbing anyway. I'm not that kind of guy who likes clubbing. But it just had a whole different perspective about life in general. I mean, I was never ashamed to say I'm a Christian. The world knows I'm a Christian. And I'll quite happily say to everyone, I'm a Christian. But then after that, I wasn't worried. I can say, oh yeah, I go to church every Sunday. That is a fact about me. You either like your zipper.
There was a certain newfound confidence, boldness, certainty.
Exactly. When you go around town, you got people who goes this loud music around, on the windows. Well, I do the same, but only we shout to the Lord. I'll put the windows down. I'll put shout to the Lord right up to and I'll listen to Christian songs. And then people are just staring at you, looking at you. I was like, what? What's wrong with my song?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think I do think, going back to what we said earlier about body, soul, and spirit, there's some sort of amazing connection where there's. I like the word harmony around it. I think I found some harmony about who I was in the world, a harmony in my relationship with God, obviously, but also a harmony about how I look at the world and wanted to be better in the world. It was a very harmonizing time for me, that moment.
Yeah, of course.
It's like things just came together, like, and afterward, your journey goes a bit like this. But in that moment, it was really like I felt complete, I felt whole, I felt right. I just felt how I should be. There's a lovely phrase, truly human. I think I felt truly human for the first time.
Yeah. It's just a feeling is amazing, and I like I keep saying, I'm proud to say to the world that I'm a Christian. And then I guess being a Christian, to everything what's been going on lately, it's what helped me going through. If that makes sense. Being a Christian helps a lot because you know your faith, you know your God.
Massive.
So
and the hope and the optimism. It's all there, isn't it, Nick, in being a Christian?
Absolutely.
Shout to the Lord. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
But have you got a cheesy pop song one as well?
A what?
A cheesy pop song.
Pop song. I don't like pop songs. I like I Don't Want to Miss a Thing from Aerosmith.
Ooh, what's that one? I don't. Not had that yet. I don't want. Oh, I don't know.
Aerosmith.
I'll probably know it when I play it. Hold on, here we go.
It's kind of a really nice song.
Is it a ballady type or a rocky one?
Yeah. And it doesn't remind me on any of my ex, so it's all good.
Long intro. Let's just fast forward.
You know what?
I didn't know it was called.
I don't want this thing.
You doing it again?
When I dream again.
It was in the movie, wasn't it? You remember the guy who went up in the...
Oh, the astronaut meteor. Bruce Willis. Oh, is that off this?
Nice.
I'm close to you.
A bit of soft rock for me.
Your heartbeat.
I'm not into rock and stuff like that. You know, it's not my kind of thing.
That's a good song. I'll give you that one. Shout to the Lord. Well, there's no wrong answers in this podcast anyway. They're all your answers, so they're all right anyway. So, shout to the Lord, and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. Nice. Cracking, good answers. All right, moving on. Okay, we're going to mix them up a bit. So, you're not allowed to say Jesus.
Yeah.
Because that's the easy answer. Because everybody's...
Yeah, exactly.
So who is Nick's most favourite biblical character?
Again, that is the one start with the Book of Solomon or Solomon.
Yeah.
You're going to ask me why, I presume.
Why?
It was about the story about the two women with the baby.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I found Solomon really inspirational. And why I find inspiration is because I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I think I'm a wise person.
Okay.
You know, I think sensibly in life.
Yeah.
You know, I like to keep things simple if I can. I think Solomon was dealing with the things while he was doing it. He was doing a very. He knew what he was doing. Like when the mothers brought the baby and and said, okay, we'll take the sword, we'll cut in half, and then you can have one half, you can have the other half. The mothers didn't. One of the mothers said, okay, well, just give the baby. I'm stepping back, and then that's how Solomon figured out who's the mother of the baby. Yeah. You know, I guess it's him. There's a lot of. All right. Every single person in the or almost everybody made a sin at the end, but that's a different story. But while he was doing it, or when he was a man of God, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it's attractive to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's the wisdom of it. It's, I know what you mean. I've said this before, but I did this coaching course just recently. It's been very inspirational to me and why it's inspired me is about adulting well, about becoming a good adult.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying there is Solomon is taking his time, he's thinking it through.
Yeah.
And his response is the right response in the right moment for the right people. It's not like Solomon as a king, like saying, right, I'm going to torture you to tell me who's the real mum. It's a really clever, wise way of dealing with other humans.
Yeah. You know, he asked for that from God. You know, when God asked him, "What do you want?" You know, he asked for to be a wise person, a wise man to bring the right decisions. And but that's what I found as inspiration.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And do you find that you do that in your own life and try and do that, like that sort of coherent
Absolutely.
response to
Yeah.
situations, to think it through, to
Yeah, and that's he's just amazing. He's just amazing. And there are on our time now, there's a lot of people who actually can give an inspiration, on our time now, but the second person who has been really good and amazing inspiration for me, it's our president from Macedonia who sadly passed away, and he was from my village. He was a Christian. He grew up in our church. He's a Methodist, church family member. He was a president of the country. He died sadly in plane crash, and although he was a president in our country, I don't know, you can read for him. His name is Boris Strakovsky. Although he was a president of the country, he was a Christian. And he was not afraid to go and say to the world, I'm a Christian. On Sunday, he used to preach. That was although he was a president, he used to preach. And he was inspiration not only to my country, not only to me, to globally. Like he was in America with George W. Bush on a meeting, and then out of nowhere, just both of them just suddenly disappeared. They just went out and prayed in the chapel for a long period of time. He was a president, but he was a man of God.
Yeah. So what's attractive? Is it feels like authenticity? You're really attracted to people who are authentic and true.
Yes. Yeah. I like people who are honest. I like people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I like people what they're saying. And if I go back to Solomon, if you put in consider, because I was thinking about that question early on when I read it as well. So I was reading carefully what I'm going to answer to you. But if you put Solomon, if you put the president of my country, they were kind of thinking same.
Yes.
Like the president, in 2001 when there was a war in Macedonia between Macedonia and the Albanians, the president had to think a lot how he's going to respond as a president or to respond as a Christian. And you're in the middle of the war, he had to think so clever how he's going to respond this, and he dealt with it so perfectly, like without no any further fights. It was just amazing, like what he'd done.
Again, you see that authenticity, you see that clarity of thinking. You see somebody who is not quick to answer, but is considered. Somebody considered.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Solomon and the president.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you say, at the heart of both those characters is a real faith in God.
Exactly. Yeah. Until up to today, I still keep thinking about the president, the words what he done, when he used to come back home in the village. It was just like a simple man. He used to say to the security, "Don't worry about me. The people here will look after me better than you." Like he was just like free man. Like he would.
But in your village, how many people would live in your village?
So there is a lot of people moved away, Matt. But I would say 650 houses.
Not big.
But we know each other. The whole village know each other. Who is who. That's how it is. The community.
That was him coming home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great answer, mate. I love that one. That's a surprising answer. I don't think many people would quickly go to Solomon, obviously because he's human and he makes errors and he's close to God, far away to God. He's Solomon, he's human. But that's a really good answer. I really like that one. Authenticity, considered wisdom. Yeah. We all need to try and be a bit more like that, don't we? I do, definitely. That's what, honestly, through the coaching course, that's one of the big things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a lot more considered in how I present myself to the world and deal with other people. I think in the past, all good, but sometimes a bit too spontaneous and a bit too emotional, a bit too, I don't know. But there's a little bit of me that needs to improve, and that's one place where I'm trying to improve. Trying to think things.
Takes time, isn't it?
It's good. Like you say, it's all health and it's all well-being. If you get it right, it does help you as a human being to be a better human being. So amen and amen, isn't it? Wonderful, great answer, mate. I love that one. That's a really good answer. So I was going to ask you what's your favourite worship song, but there's only one in Nick's life.
Amen.
But tell me about your love for. I might get the name wrong. Is it the Gator family?
Yes. So the Gator vocal band is one of my everyday thing. Like there has not been a day where I haven't listened to a song from them.
So it's the Gator
vocal band.
And if you don't know them, go on Spotify. We'll play one. They are a very famous Christian touring group. They go around the world.
Yeah, mainly in America, but like I always wanted to go. They do like a cruise ship where you're just gonna book yourself in and go on the cruise with them, and then like you got a whole 10 days of worship, And this is something what I always wanted to go to. Like that's my wish, and hopefully one day I'll make it successful.
Post-COVID treat.
Yes, absolutely. Like
where you want sunshine to brighten up your day, but you find the clouds rain on your parade. Don't forget.
You know what a day that will be when Jesus I shall see. From that song was written by Jim Hill.
That's not a good example either. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
All right, let's play that one.
The bloodstained banner from a bloodstained banner.
Yes. Is this the one you went to Germany to watch?
I can't remember which one introduced you to. But
didn't you go to Germany to watch a big American?
Oh no, that was the Kelly family. That's another group.
The Kelly.
But they do play Christian songs as well.
Oh, the Kelly family aren't Christian.
No, they're not. No.
Oh right. Oh, here's the Kelly family. Oh wow, I can see a picture of them on the screen.
Yeah, so it's a big family.
So you like the harmony, you like the.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Gator vocal band is one of my favorites. And
the one we love at church is Mark. Mary, did you know?
Mary, Mark Lowry.
Mark Lowry, and he works with the Gator band, I think.
Of course, yeah. He left. He's doing a solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mary, did you know? Yeah. And it was I don't know if you know the song "What a Day That Will Be" when I Jesus I shall see. It was from Jim Hill, and he was with Gator vocal band. Yeah, he passed away.
They are actually a very, very influential Christian band, aren't they, in America? They're massive.
Absolutely.
Because I think they do like Christmas specials.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bill and Gloria Gator, there we are. That will be when my Jesus I shall see.
That's what I love about these podcasts. You get such a great mix of music, from Hillsong, contemporary, to this, to traditional harmony band.
Yeah, and they have a big impact on you. Like even if you're not a Christian, you can just listen to their songs.
Yeah.
Like even if you're not a Christian, it's just they're just amazing. Like
Well, that's definitely been a theme that's run through the podcast about listening to Christian music. Whether you're a Christian or not, there's something just very uplifting and community and just optimistic about Christian music.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. More people need to listen to it, I think.
Well, we listen to different songs. Why non-Christian kids to our songs?
That's great. So Shout to the Lord is obviously your favourite. And then anything by the Gator family.
Anything goes on, I'll have it.
So in Macedonia, I'm interested in, Christianity over there. Is it predominantly Catholic, Orthodox? Or is it atheistic, humanistic? What does it look like for you growing up?
So the main religion in Macedonia is Orthodox country. It's Orthodox country. Yeah. But it's multi-ethnical, so you got multi-ethnical religions. So after the Orthodox, we'll have the Catholics, then it will come the Muslims,
Yeah.
and then the Methodists and everybody else, and so on and on and on and on. But it's multi-ethnical. There's mosques, there's churches, Orthodox churches. There is, it's every religion, and it's okay. It's okay. Whenever church opens, it's a good thing, regardless of what kind of church it is.
Yeah.
But it's multi-ethnical. So in my village, where I'm coming from, you got the Orthodox Church, the Methodist Church where I come from, and the evangelistic church. So there's 3 churches in my village.
Huh.
So it's
and what, say if you went to church on a Sunday morning, how many people would be there?
Depends on the period. Some are holidays, people can be on holidays, but my church is depends on a good Sunday, can be about 30-40 people.
Yeah, but in a village of 600 people, and then obviously you've got the evangelical church and the other types of churches as well.
Yeah.
So faith is still very much part of Macedonian life then.
Sure. I mean, there is a villages back home who they got only Orthodox churches, That's this is just an Orthodox village. But in mine, there is it's 3 churches in my village where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Now, one of the privileges we've been able to do over the years is do the Operation Christmas boxes, haven't we? Operation Christmas
boxes, yes.
I know. And interestingly, Nick was a recipient of one of them, weren't you?
Was when I was a child. That feeling was amazing. That's the first time when I saw what actually toothbrush is. A toothbrush, a toothpaste. I didn't know what it was. Like I thought it was a white color to paint. That's what I thought it was at the beginning. Yeah. First time some toys. The feeling, man, you were just like.
Yeah. Do you remember the toy you got? Did you get any toys?
Yeah. There was like a little toys, giraffes and etc. And I still got them. They're still in the village back home.
Nice.
They're still under. Yeah, they're still under my bed. I still got those toys. There was a lot of stuff. There was in my box was from a person called Samantha Taylor. I still remember the name right up until today.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it was
Samantha Taylor. If you're listening to this podcast,
thanks, Nick. It was Samantha Taylor, yeah.
Was she from America, UK? Or?
I think it was American. Person. I can't remember. My teacher, who she tried to help me as well, but we couldn't understand the writing, what it was said with the address. There was an address in there. I must have the card somewhere at home still, but yeah, it was the feeling was amazing when they told we got shoebox coming in. We couldn't sleep for weeks.
Because over the years, there's been a little bit of controversy around the organisation. So I really love the outworking of it, like the outcome. So when I hear your story, and irrespective of what goes on in America or the UK, I don't even know. I'm not even bothered. But irrespective of what's going on, to hear what it did for you as a boy. And the excitement and the introduction in some ways to Christian giving and all that. That's the outworking of it, isn't it? It's incredible.
I mean, to receive a present like that for somebody who comes from a very poor village, who have had nothing, the feeling, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like the feeling is huge. But for you to be able to see somebody receiving that gift, you will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
You have to experience it. I can't tell you what the feeling is, because now when I have a chance to give to somebody, you've got to see the happiness in somebody's face, and then you will have the feeling what I've got.
Yeah. I suspect that it's one of the most purest moments of your life in a way, in the sense of when we receive Christmas, there's a whole barrel of expectations.
True. You're giving it
for you. It was like. You had no idea what was coming, and it was just like, hey, this isn't right.
We were like with debating in school with the kids, what is going to be, what they're going to give us, what is would there be, what's going to be in there, sweets, pens, chocolates, money, we don't know what it was in there. And then we'd have like 1,000 of questions. And instead of having classes with the teacher, we'll question the teacher what's going to be in the boxes, do you know what I
mean? Yeah.
And then it was all about, when they told us, it was around Christmas time, and then it was all about what's going to be in the shoe boxes. We didn't care about the classes anymore. That was gone. We cared about what's going to be shoe boxes. And when they finally came, it was like, oh my God, they're finally that big truck pulled up in the school.
No, because the funny thing is, this end, you know, you put in the socks and you put in, because we're so wealthy and entitled, and we have so much over here, most of us do anyway. Like, you put the socks in and the gloves in and the little toys and the pencils and the retractors and you just think, really? I mean, you know, there's no iPads, there's no mobiles, there's no laptops. It's pretty basic stuff, and it's an incredible thought that you are then opening up there and just finding this amazing treasure and box of light, isn't it?
Yeah, I have no idea. And you know, obviously it's March now, but people out there, if they haven't thought about doing shoe boxes, just do them, because you have no idea how you can make somebody happy. That is, it's just amazing. If somebody can do it, they can. You know, I mean, this is an opportunity to say thanks to Esther, because she's been always there. We've done the shoebox together. You know, I've been very unorganized. You know, I always say, Esther, what we doing about the shoebox this year? She goes, Nik, pain, and she's not forgot me, but then we do it together. And then, you know, so she's been great supporting me about the shoeboxes. I was like, Esther, you know those shoeboxes? Here we go again. So it's been great helping me to do them.
I mean, sadly, I mean, that's one of those implications that you don't think about COVID, but obviously they probably wouldn't have been shoeboxes.
It wouldn't be sad, really sad. Really.
Do 2 each next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, mate. Thank you. That's great. Thanks for sharing. No, brilliant. Thank you. So, what is Nik's favourite film of all time? Not what people think is the best film, but your favourite film. What's your favourite film?
There is a lot of movies or films. I like comedies.
Oh, okay.
You know? But the first movie film who took all my attention, I guess it has to be Titanic.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah, I guess it has to be Titanic, because that was the movie who I watched probably more than about 100 times.
Were you one of them?
I'm one of them, sadly. Sorry, world out there, but I am one of them, sadly. I watched that movie.
I only saw it once, but I only tend to watch movies once. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was a great, spectacular epic.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who watched Titanic and cried every time when I've seen Titanic.
Really? That's what I was going to say. What is it about that film that made people go multiple times? Like you, 10, 20, 30, 40 times some people went. I mean,
the answer is simple. You've got a love and tragedy who comes together. And that's why Titanic is about. And the tragedy is happening at the moment where you got romance going on, you know, and that is, I guess that's the bit of it. It was about the tragedy and the love and the romance going on, between those two people. Do you know what I mean? And it was like it was like when the romance was going on, it's like you live in a big town where they were hiding each other in do you know what I mean? All there was a ship. Do you know what I mean? But it was like someone's come from a poor family and someone's come from a rich family. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I just love the movie, you know, and I think that's the bit of it. The fact that it's a romance, and it's also tragedy, you know, especially when the ship hits the ice, you know. Yeah, I reckon that. Yeah.
So how old have you been about when that came out?
Good question.
I don't know.
How old is Titanic? Whenever it came out?
Titanic. Here we go. Oh, 1997.
1997, you see. But you know, I know a lot about Titanic. You know, I was looking at when they were discovering it, what they were finding inside. Do you know what I mean? I watched all of it, like all of it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not just about the movie; it's what was going on after and before the movie. Like when they were trying to find Titanic where it was.
Yeah.
You know, and you see him just lie down there on the seabed. Do you know what I mean? It just, and you're like,
incredible.
And then, you know, things what they used to say. I guess there's a bit of Christianity in there and faith. This ship will never sink.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's a very good story, and it's sort of Shakespearean, isn't it? The actual story of the Titanic in the film. You know, a bit like it's Romeo and Juliet on a ship. You know, poor, rich. So there's a real rich history of drama and writing around those subjects. He does it very well, David Cameron. Not David Cameron. What's his name? The director? John Cameron.
John Cameron. No, it's something Cameron.
Not David Cameron. He was the president. He was the
prime minister.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't like to see David Cameron's version. He definitely wouldn't have mixed with the poor people.
Yeah, I know.
That's a really good choice, though. Really good choice. And I suspect it's the same answer to this question. Is that the film you've watched the most?
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy answer.
Yeah. It was incredible. Some people like yourself. I didn't personally ever want to go and see it again. I thought it was great, but I didn't want to go and see it again. But then my friends were going, "Oh, yeah, I've seen that 6 times, 7 times, 8 times."
I watched all the time when I was in
doing with your life. You know? Yeah, it was a very powerful movie, and I think it was the beginning of really big special effects as well. The CGI, you know,
how they discovered it, and then what they've done, the way
and then how putting the ship together like it would have looked like at the time. And so the detail in the movie is really great, isn't it? About the ship itself.
It was the biggest ship at that time.
I actually saw a picture, bizarrely. Do you know when you go on the internet sometimes and it says, press this to see 30 strange photos of the past? Do you know? I don't know if you've ever picked, I do. And it was a photograph of the iceberg that sunk the Titanic.
Really?
Yeah, about 2 hours after the Titanic sank. No, I don't know how long, that might have not been true, but another ship came, and down the side of the iceberg was like paint, which would have come off the Titanic. So they took a photograph of it. If you Google it later, you can see the iceberg that sunk the Titanic.
Yeah, I'm going to look at it.
Good answer, mate. I like that one. I love it. That's a good one. We've not had that one before, so well done. That's a good one. All right then. So what is it about church that you love?
I'm not going to go into details to what happened in the past, but I was going to work, Sports Direct at that time when I used to work once a week. And I was passing through our church, Church of Nazarene. And something happened, it used to be Sunday, where I used to go start my shift for 11 o'clock, and I was passing by and I've seen people going in and out. Like I said, I'm not going to go to what happened in the past, but I was searching for a new church or looking for a new church, and I've tried a couple. It was okay, but it was not something to move me to say, this is your place, man, and stay here.
Yeah.
And it happens one Sunday, and I was passing by and I moved nearby here, and I said, I'm going to try that church, where I'm now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember our first conversation when you came and say hello to me before the service and after the service. I pulled you on the side after, and I said to you, how did you know about my life story?
Okay.
And then you said to me, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I said to you, everything what you spoke out there today, it was about me. It was about me.
That's good.
And then you were busy. You didn't pay much of attention on it, but that moment made me realize that I've found my right church.
Okay, that's amazing.
For me to worship, and I've told you that I repeat that on a couple of occasions. But what does church mean to me? Our church right now. If I say that it means the world, that's not going to be the right answer. I think it means everything to me.
Yeah.
Why does it mean everything to me? It's because it's a true church family. It's a true inspirational, helpful church family.
Yeah.
I am, when I go into church on Sunday morning, I feel happy.
Yeah.
I feel that it's Nick. I've been myself in the church. What I'm like. I go to church, I say hello to everybody, I know everybody as much as I can.
You're a good fit in our church, a really good fit.
Yeah, I'll go and annoy everybody, squeeze everybody as much as I can, and then I will just sit down and I'll listen to the service. What I do love a lot about our church is the worship.
Yeah.
Me taking part sometimes here and there when I can in the worship.
Wow.
You play, Paul and Elga when they play the guitars and etc. It was about the worship. I'm a person who enjoys worship. I love helping in the church. I love being involved in the church.
Yeah.
We done a few things together.
Yeah, a lot.
But it is like a home to home. That's how I find it. I'm sort of person who likes to pardon me, who likes to get on with everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just go in there and I'm just myself.
Yeah.
When I go in the church.
I really like that because that's one of my hopes for any community that I'm involved in is just, again, authenticity. I want to deal with people who they are. I'd much rather somebody represent themselves authentically and truthfully, and whether that's whoever that is.
Yeah.
And I want to create an environment, and our church, and actually, even before I joined the church as the pastor, when I came to the church, there was an openness and an acceptance of others. There's a real big fat dollop of grace in our church. Even before I was there, I've just built on it in that sense in my ministry.
And there's no...
It's a very authentic community.
Exactly.
Come as you are. Just come as you are.
Exactly.
We don't you. We just want you there.
Exactly. And I love picking up somebody to come to church, trying to help if I can in some sort of way. If somebody new comes to church and go and speak with somebody, say, hi, I'm Nick, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And just speak, have a chat with the new people. I love it. It is personally to me, it's a place where I feel I can be myself.
Yeah,
I'm happy professional. I'll have to professional go to work on Monday morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just myself, go and, eating sweets in the middle of the service, me, Karen, and whoever sits at the back, we just eating sweets.
Yeah, that's annoying though. No, it's not.
I know it is. That's what we're doing now. And then you got Ray who probably gonna nod off, and then we just kind of poking each other and wake up and so. It's just the fun.
I'm just jealous because I'm stood at the front and I can't sit at the back with you guys like messing.
I know. And then out of nowhere, one of us will say something stupid and we'll burst laughing. Do you know what I mean? Like me getting up to do the collection and I'm like, and I took Karen's sweets and I was like, if you put the paper money, I'll give you a sweet. Do you know what I mean? These little things, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yeah, I just, it is like a second home.
No, I'm really, that's what you want from any church, like a welcoming, authentic,
absolutely.
Open. Absolutely. And I think one of the things that I've always tried to do for me as the pastor, as just me, Matt, as a pastor, is to be true to myself too. What I don't like is when I go to churches and up the front there's somebody and they put on a posh voice and they do like the lyrical prayers because that's how they've got to speak. And then afterwards you meet them, they're like, all right, how you doing? Again, I love that authenticity. I would much rather say to the church, look, I'm not perfect. I could never claim that. And I want you to, I'm not obviously going to dump all me on them because that's not my job. But I want people to understand that, I'm a human being too, and I want to be authentic and I've got to be truthful. I like that honesty and I love to receive that honesty from others. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a home. It's a really good place. Like, trust me, I enjoy about that church. I have nothing to say, oh, this is not right, this is not good. I mean, you know what I'm like? I'm easygoing, If I don't agree with something, I'll say how it is, and I'll just say it. This is me. I'm open, honest, and transparent.
Exactly.
I'm also easygoing person. I just go in there. I just want to an hour and a half in church.
I think our communities is because we do things right and we try and live a right life. It's a very safe environment. It's a healthy environment. It's a good place.
Absolutely.
It's just a good place. It's okay. It has its problems. It's not perfect. It's just fine and it's good. And I think if you just come open like that, then you get the best out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Nick. No, that's really good. That's what every church should aim for too. Yeah, definitely. So, you've committed a terrible crime. And unfortunately, Nick, you've only got one last meal that you can ask for before justice is done. So, what is your final meal? Beginner, starter, main, dessert?
In Macedonia,
Oh, yeah?
Sunday morning, or sorry, Sunday lunch is start is the soup, Macedonian soup.
What sort of soup is that? What's it made out of?
It's like with pasta, but you put like different vegetables in it, like carrots, broccoli.
So like the vegetable pasta soup.
Yes, you've tried it, haven't you?
I did at your house, I think.
Yeah, soup, and then you have rice and chicken with the oven. Rice and chicken that's cooked together for main. Salad, and then Macedonian salad. And then for a pudding, I'm not a very big fan of sweet, but I would definitely gonna go for Esther's banana cake.
If people don't know Esther, she's one of our church members.
And guys,
she makes a cracking banana cake.
Yeah, and if you don't know Esther, you're more than welcome to contact her. She makes amazing cakes. Yeah, so
I really like this, Nick, because what I like is your loyalty to the Macedonian starter and the Macedonian main course.
Yeah.
You're in Britain, England, one of the greatest places for food in the world, and yet there's only one place for you, home. I like it. So it's a vegetable pasta soup, Macedonian.
Yeah.
So the chicken, it's a roasted chicken, and then it has rice with it.
Yeah, it is. You cook the chicken in the oven. It's not the whole chicken. Like you got bits and bobs from the chicken. You cook it.
Okay.
With the chicken leg and etc.
Is it flavored in any way?
Yeah. I put pepper, some stuff from Macedonia. It's called baguette. So I put that inside. Make it nice. Baguette, yeah. It makes it nice and tasty.
Yeah.
That goes in the oven, cooks in the oil. Obviously, we buy in Macedonia. We eat olive oil.
Okay.
So that's how we cook. And then once that's roasted, then you take it out. Then you put the rice in it. In the rice, I chop tomatoes, pepper, whatever it is you want to put. You know what I mean? It depends on taste. And that goes back into the oven, and then you start cooking the soup, and then it's my favorite. It's my favorite. Like,
get on the floor and say, Esther,
you know that banana cake?
cake. I need it. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That'll be nice when we can get back to church more regularly.
I will make the soups for the church. The church.
We could have an international food night.
We done it. I've done it once for somebody. I can't remember what it was. I've done the soup.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things we're going to do when we get back to church is we're going to change the service structure a little bit, because we're still going to be online for a while. But we're going to bookend it with 2 times of community and gathering. So we're going to put in hopefully we're going to put in a little refreshment bar underneath the balcony, coffee, tea, Esther's banana cake.
Esther's banana cake for Nick.
That's going to be Esther's new job in 2021, make the banana cake every
week. Esther, if you're hearing this one day, just remember what we said, all right?
Yeah, so we are going to change it a little bit, just in response to COVID-19. I think one of the things we've recognised through these podcasts as well is people's need to feel belonging again, to connect again. So we're going to do like half an hour of tea, coffee, connecting, and then come to worship, ritual, and then afterwards tea, coffee, gathering. So I just really feel a sort of vision for the church and a vision for us, just to reconnect and just to gather and just to be a tribe again. It's going to be, I think that's going to be a real blessing to us, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So that's the plan anyway. So hopefully in April, May, June, when people start to come back, then we can spend some time together, getting to know each other and just really gathering together and being together. Not complicated, just simple. worship music on, fresh coffee, fresh tea, banana cake.
Yay.
That sounds like the best church in the world, to be fair.
It is. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go back to the normal.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, Nick, got a couple of questions left. Now, the responses I've had to this the last few weeks have been really Christian. Ooh. If you won a lot of money or you inherited a lot of money, what would you do with it, Nick?
Depends of the amount.
A lot. We're talking 400 million.
Oh God. Oh.
Well, more than $1 million and enough. You can do whatever you want with it.
Okay. Honestly, I'm going to speak. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, because I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I will definitely going to get a house, a nice big house with a swimming pool and etc.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And
that's good. Secret. That's a good start because the last few ones, they've been like, let's start a charity.
Yeah. No.
Second, first, a house with a swimming. Yeah. I like it, Nick. I like it.
Yeah. I will probably going to go. I'm probably going to buy a couple of villas in Tenerife and anywhere else. I'm going to holidays.
Nice.
And then with the rest of the money, I've got one wish which I really, really want to do, and that is a Christian thing. And you're gonna, I have to say,
no, it's okay now because you've done the selfish thing first.
Yeah,
now you can do the Christian thing.
There is a couple of things what I definitely want to do. I'd like to do our church. Build what we spoke a couple of years ago. Our church just to do the flats and make it another floor up, build that. Because I was really intrigued about that. And that's what I really want to do. And if I had the mind, that's definitely what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like, in the first instance, I'll say, come on, let's do the meeting. How much it's going to cost us? And let's do it.
Oh, I love it.
Do flats, The next thing is, although it's going to be a lot of money, I'm going to invest, employ people to work and help in a way. Not just give, but they to work for you and help.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Me helping them by their working for that money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then my passion is kids, and I'm probably going to spend a lot of money helping kids.
Of course you do.
That's my passion. I love kids.
And obviously, I would think that you would do some stuff in Macedonia, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. That's definitely a yes. Kids are my
passion. I really like that. I like that. I mean, I think you're right. I think like home security is so important, especially as you get older, to have your own home and to be safe and to know that you've got that set in stone and it's so good. I think that's really important. I've been watching on YouTube, and it might be worth having a look, but there's these people in America and some who go to these American mansions, 10 million, 20 million, 40 million, and they go round with a camera and they show you these amazing buildings. However, not one of them have I thought I'd move there. They're so big and cold, and they feel too big.
Yeah, it looks like a massive thing.
I want a nice home, and a home is, where is my family going to fit? It's not
exactly.
It's a big house, sure. A swimming pool, yeah. A gym, a golf course, yeah. But at the heart of that, has got to be a home.
A family, absolutely.
Yeah, family, yeah. No, cool. Well, no, that is an allowable answer because you did a bit of Nick first and then you went Christian. So yeah, that's fine. Yes, but we have got like these. It's always good in church to have crazy sky blue thinking plans. We'd like to put a glass box on the front of our church so people can see in and it's welcoming and they can see us worshipping and projecting. We've had ideas of putting flats in the top to help people to rent out, just to do it up. I mean, you'd really need a lot of money to do it. But it's nice to talk like that. And I think in those, you never know, the dreams could come true.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've said, we spoke about this couple of years ago, and that never went off my head, and that's what it's been bugging me for a while. And I was like, I wish we could just do that. Do you know what I mean? Like make a flat, you're thinking business here, because obviously I work. All right, I'm a caring person, but also thinking business as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, if you do that, then at least we can rent the rooms for and then help church, to pay for the heating, for help
absolutely
pay for the bills, pay the pastor, and do you know what I mean?
Yes, please.
But that is just it's just the thought, and that's what I would do straight.
Well,
I would do that.
the funny thing is, Nick, I think you sort of touched on something which I think for a lot of churches post-COVID is going to be so important about generating income streams to uphold the mission. Not for me to drive around in a Bentley Continental Turbo. I mean, what's all that about? No, thank you. But to uphold the mission of God's mission on earth as it is willed in heaven, I think churches are going to have to look at new structures of revenue, how we care for ourselves, not just through the tithes and offerings, but through hall, building. We have this rich resource for the community that can be used so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unto the glory of God, not for us, to the glory of God. That's what's important, I think. So, yeah. I mean, being able to do a lovely building up like we've got, even better, is really important, I think. Yeah.
And it will happen one day,
Well, when you come back anytime. We're open on Sundays, people. The sanctuaries, we've got maybe a couple of hours left to do. We've got all the new radiators in. It's all been decorated. It's all ready for you, Nick.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. It looks good. Oh, that's a good answer. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, awesome. Nick, we've come to the last question. So, obviously, it's been a horrible year, COVID. And I don't want to focus on the negatives, where there has been a lot of negatives for most people. But I want us to be hopeful and optimistic, as I know you are, and I know we want to be. So, out of all this craziness, out of all this COVID madness, what is something that you want to hold on to? What has been something that has been good during COVID that you've been reminded of or seen for the first time? What's been good?
It's been good, the fact that this is going to sound really selfish, and I feel sorry for the people out there, but I was not left without job.
Yeah.
I wasn't furloughed.
Yeah.
That's one thing, that I had a job.
Yeah.
It's been. It's sad to say, but there has not been a lot good. It's good, the fact that I had my friends around me, church family, who were sticking by me. Do you know what I mean?
It's not sad to say. I mean, it's a global pandemic. I mean, that is the nature of the beast. It's a horrible thing. But then you just touched upon a reminder that your family is important, that your friends are important.
Absolutely. And I'm grateful that I've got that. And obviously losing few of my family loved ones, due to COVID-19 has been difficult. But I guess I have to treasure what I've got now.
Yeah.
What we've got as a family, the fact that I still got my mom.
Yeah.
I still got that amazing person who I love to bits. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess it has been good in a way that I'm happy to be alive. After everything what happened, I guess I have to say I'm happy to be alive. Because I've had it, and I thought I was gonna literally die. That's how it felt. That's how it was. When I was in BRI, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to be grateful that God gave me a chance to say to me, I don't want you up here yet. You got to stay down there, because you're not ready. You got to know Him as much as you can. So that's,
again, and we can just sort of pass that off, but actually, it's actually a very profound thing that you've said there, because we've said it before in the podcast. Life was very busy before COVID. It was a rat race, and it was hard work to be a modern person in the UK. It was pulling us this way and that. And so to say, it's reminding me that it's good to be alive is so much more impactful and deep than. It's very important that to recognize, wow, this is okay. This thing called life, it's good. I'm good. I'm glad I'm alive. I'm good. It's great. I'm alive.
Of course, people who've been through COVID-19, it's either, when you have COVID-19, it's two things. You're either going to die or you're going to live. That's it. There's no other option here. You're either going to get through it or you're going to die. Okay? people who experience COVID-19 in their personal life, whether they had it or they lost somebody, sadly I had them both, but to experience COVID-19, to have that disease in your body for that period of time, it will, Matt, I don't know about other people, but it will teach you to accept the true meaning of life.
Yeah.
Because it did teach me, man. It did teach me big things.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't care about anything. Yeah. I was excited about obviously I got my car not a few months back, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, I bumped it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. But then when I was left here on my bed, on my sofa, it didn't mean nothing to me. Yeah. Literally nothing. Everything what you had, it didn't mean nothing to me whatsoever. Interesting. I didn't care for that period of time. I didn't care what I was wearing. I didn't care what I was look like. Do you know what I mean? I didn't care what kind of phone I had. I didn't care what kind of car I had or how much money I have. Do you know what I mean? For first time in my life, I didn't care about that. I was thinking about, oh my God, this is the value of life for me to be able to get healthy again. And when I'll get healthy. I didn't care about anything. I had the questions whether I will survive. That's what worried me a lot. Amazing. It's an amazing way of looking at it. Very profound, very fundamental to get to that point where you were just in a sort of COVID vacuum and it's just you in the world, nothing else. Yeah. Strip back to the basic Nik, just having gratitude for a breath and having gratitude for and thanksgiving that you're alive. It's profound, mate. It's profound. It's a good way. It's a good way. It's a good way to end the podcast. It's a really profound thought. Yeah. Awesome. Nik, thank you. It's always a pleasure to see you. And one of the things I've enjoyed about these podcasts is being able to spend an hour or so in other people's company. Post-COVID again, when did we ever get a chance to do this? Very rarely. So It's been a real pleasure to be with you and a pleasure to hear your answers. And I am glad that you're alive too, Nik. Thank you. I have promised to myself, I will take my mum on a holiday when all this is over. I have to take her. Bless her. But no, Matt, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being with us, Nik. I'm going to press record, but don't go away because I'll just after the record I'll press it. So thank you, Nik. It's been amazing. See you soon. Bless you. Amen. See you, mate. Bye.